Captain Jake Morrison's boots echoed through the derelict corridors of the Epsilon Wanderer, a colony ship that had vanished 70 years ago. His salvage crew had picked up faint energy signatures from the supposedly dead vessel, and Jake, never one to send his people into danger first, volunteered to investigate alone. The ship's interior was a maze of frost-covered metal and flickering emergency lights. His breath formed clouds in the frigid air as he navigated deeper into the vessel's heart. Everything suggested the crew had abandoned ship in a hurry, personal effects scattered, doors left hanging open, half-eaten meals frozen in time. Then he found the sealed chamber. Unlike the rest of the ship, this door hummed with power. Jake's scanner showed it was drawing energy from an unknown source, maintaining a habitable environment inside. His curiosity overwhelmed his caution. He overrode the lock. The door hissed open, releasing a wave of warm, perfumed air. Jake stepped into what appeared to be living quarters, impossibly luxurious compared to the rest of the ship. Silk curtains draped across the walls, bioluminescent plants cast a soft purple glow, and in the center stood an ornate bathing pool, steam rising from its surface. That's when he saw her. She emerged from behind a privacy screen, completely unaware of his presence, her form revealed in the dim light. Jake's breath caught. She wasn't human, her skin held an opalescent shimmer that shifted between pearl and lavender, and her eyes, when they finally met his, were pools of liquid silver with no visible pupils. Time seemed to freeze. Jake stammered an apology, turning away, his face burning with embarrassment. "I'm so sorry, I didn't know anyone was, I'll leave immediately." "Stop." Her voice was melodic, accented with something he couldn't place. She didn't sound angry or embarrassed. "You've seen me in my natural state. Among my people, this creates a bond that cannot be undone." Jake risked a glance back. She had wrapped herself in a flowing robe that seemed to shimmer with its own light. Up close, she was breathtaking, high cheekbones, full lips, and an otherworldly grace in every movement. "I don't understand," Jake managed. "What bond? Who are you?" She stepped closer, studying him with those mesmerizing silver eyes. "My name is Alara Vextheri. I am the last of the Luminari ambassadors sent to establish contact with humanity. But the mission failed, and I have waited here in stasis, hoping someone worthy would find me." "Worthy?" Jake's hand instinctively moved to his sidearm. Alara smiled, and it transformed her entire face. "You have seen me unveiled. By the ancient laws of my people, you now have two choices, Captain Morrison." She moved even closer, her presence intoxicating. "Marry me and join my people among the stars, learning secrets humanity has only dreamed of." She paused, her expression turning mysterious. "Or else face the guarantee, a trial that will determine if you're truly worthy of what you've witnessed." Jake's mind raced. Marriage? A trial? This is insane. I just opened the wrong door. Alara circled him slowly, like a predator assessing prey. Among the Luminari, the unveiled form is sacred, shown only to chosen mates or worthy allies. You've crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed. She reached out, her fingers barely grazing his jaw. Even through his environmental suit, he felt the warmth of her touch. "I've been alone for 70 years, Captain. Waiting. Watching humanity through your broadcasts, learning their languages, your culture, your desires." The way she said desires sent a shiver through him. "You can't be serious about marriage," Jake protested, though his voice lacked conviction. "We just met. You don't know anything about me. Don't I?" Alara's smile turned knowing. She gestured to a wall of screens that suddenly illuminated, showing images of Jake's life, his military service, his divorce 3 years ago, his lonely nights on salvage runs. "I've monitored every ship that came near in hopes of rescue. When I detected your vessel, I researched you specifically. Jake Morrison, 34, decorated pilot, excellent leader, terrible at maintaining relationships because you always put duty first." Jake felt exposed in a way that had nothing to do with clothing. That's invasive. That's survival. She moved to a cabinet and produced 2 glasses and a bottle containing luminescent liquid. I needed to know if whoever found me would be capable of understanding what I offer. She poured the drinks. The guarantee isn't punishment, Jake. It's an opportunity. Pass it, and you'll gain knowledge that could advance humanity centuries. Fail. She handed him a glass. And you'll return to your ship with your memory of me erased, living your ordinary life, never knowing what you lost. Jake stared at the drink. And the marriage option? Elara moved closer, until he could feel the heat radiating from her alien body. Immediate acceptance into my world. I would be your guide, your partner, your... She paused, her silver eyes darkening with something primal, everything. The Luminari mate for life, Captain. We choose carefully. But when we choose completely. Her hand traced down his chest. Despite the absurdity of the situation, Jake's body responded. There was something magnetic about her, something that went beyond physical attraction. I need time to think, he said hoarsely. You have until sunrise. Elara gestured to a viewport showing the planet they orbited. 6 hours. Then you decide, marriage, the trial, or walk away and forget this ever happened. She stepped back, letting him breathe. But know this, I've watched humanity for decades. You're special, Jake Morrison. Why do you think I woke when you arrived? Why do you think this door opened for you? She let her robe slip slightly off one shoulder, revealing that opalescent skin. Perhaps fate brought you here. Or perhaps I called to you. Jake should have left. Should have returned to his ship, reported the find, let the authorities handle it. Instead, he found himself accepting Elara's offer to stay, to learn more before deciding. She showed him her quarters properly, a hidden sanctuary within the dead ship. Holographic star maps floated in the air, showing galaxies humanity had never reached. Crystals pulsed with stored knowledge. And everywhere, evidence of a civilization so advanced it made Earth's technology look primitive. Why were you really here? Jake asked, examining a crystalline data core. You said the mission failed. Elara poured herself more of the luminescent drink. We came to offer humanity a choice, join the galactic congregation or remain isolated. But your governments feared us. Feared what we represented. Her expression darkened. They sabotaged this ship, killed my crew. I survived only by entering emergency stasis. That's horrible. That's politics. She moved to stand beside him, their shoulders almost touching. But things have changed. Humanity has matured. You've reached beyond your world now, begun to explore. Perhaps it's time to try again. Her hand found his. Through you. Jake turned to face her, acutely aware of how close they stood. Why me specifically? I'm nobody special. Just a salvage captain. You're kind. Elara's free hand cupped his face. You volunteered to explore first, to protect your crew. You apologized when you saw me, despite your shock. You've been hurt, yet you remain open to connection. Her thumb traced his lower lip. And you're here, aren't you? You stayed. You're curious. I'm an idiot, Jake muttered, but he didn't pull away. You're human. Elara leaned closer, her breath sweet like exotic flowers. I've studied human intimacy. Your coupling rituals, your capacity for passion and pleasure. It fascinates me. Jake's pulse quickened. Elara. Among my people, we share thoughts during intimacy. Minds merge as bodies join. Her silver eyes held his captive. Imagine it, Jake. Knowing your partner's every desire the moment they feel it. Experiencing pleasure doubled, tripled, because you feel both your ecstasy and theirs. That sounds. Jake couldn't find words. Intense? Elara's lips were inches from his now. Overwhelming? Perfect? Her robe slipped further. I could show you. Give you a taste of what marriage to me would mean. No obligations, just demonstration. Jake's rational mind screamed at him to stop, but his body had other ideas. He was so lonely, had been for so long. And she was offering something beyond his wildest imagination. The trial, he said weakly, his last defense. Tell me what it involves. Elara smiled against his neck, her lips brushing his skin. 3 tests. Intelligence. Courage. And... She nipped gently at his earlobe, passion. Prove you can match me in all 3, and you'll earn what marriage would freely give. Her hands began working his suit's seals. But first, let me show you what you're competing for. Jake woke to find himself alone in Elara's bed, the alien silk sheets tangled around him. His suit lay discarded across the floor. Memories of the night flooded back, her opalescent skin against his, the way she'd gasped his name, the moment their minds had briefly touched and he'd felt her loneliness echo his own. It had been unlike anything he'd experienced. When she'd said the Luminari experience shared pleasure, she hadn't exaggerated. Every touch had been magnified, every sensation doubled. He'd lost count of how many times they'd. Good morning, Captain. Elara entered wearing a different robe, this one armor-like, formal. Her expression was unreadable. Last night was educational. But morning brings clarity. Have you made your choice? Jake sat up, suddenly aware of the shift in her demeanor. What happened to the woman who was in my arms 6 hours ago? She's still here. But she's also a daughter of the Luminari Imperium, and protocols must be followed. Elara handed him his clothes. You've been intimate with me. That complicates things. By our laws, you must now either marry me or prove your worth through the guarantee. Leaving with your memory intact is no longer an option. Wait, you didn't mention. I didn't lie. I simply accelerated the inevitable. She smiled slightly. I wanted one night of freedom before duty reasserted itself. One night to be just Elara, not an ambassador. You gave me that. Thank you. Jake dressed quickly, his emotions churning. He'd been manipulated, but strangely, he wasn't angry. What's the first test? Intelligence. Follow me. Elara led him to a chamber filled with holographic puzzles. The Luminari are a culture of scholars and warriors. You must prove your mind is worthy. Solve 3 quantum logic puzzles designed to challenge even our greatest minds. You have 1 hour. The puzzles materialized before him, complex 3-dimensional matrices that hurt to look at. Jake was smart, but this was beyond anything he'd encountered. If I fail? Then we proceed to test 2 immediately, without rest. Fail all 3 tests, and I must erase your memory of me, of this place, of last night. Sadness flickered across her face. I'll be alone again. Waiting for someone else, someday. That's what motivated him. Not the knowledge, not the adventure, the thought of her alone in this tomb for another 70 years. Jake rolled up his sleeves. Show me the first puzzle. For the next hour, he struggled with concepts that bent his understanding of reality. Elara watched silently, offering no help. Sweat dripped down his face as he manipulated variables, testing theories, failing and trying again. With 30 seconds left, something clicked. He saw the pattern, not through logic, but intuition. His hands flew across the holographic interface. The puzzle chimed completion just as time expired. Elara's expression broke into genuine surprise. Impossible. Most Luminari take days to solve that. What's test 2? Jake asked, breathing hard. Courage, Elara said. And it begins now. The courage test wasn't what Jake expected. Elara led him to an airlock. Beyond this door is the void. No suit, no tether. You'll be exposed to vacuum for 30 seconds, the limit of human survival. Trust that I'll bring you back. That's suicide. That's faith. Elara's eyes softened. The Luminari believe courage isn't the absence of fear, but action despite it. Trust me with your life, Jake. Prove you can take the leap required to join our world. Jake stared at the airlock. Everything rational said no. But he thought of Alara's loneliness, of the possibilities she represented, of how alive he'd felt in her arms. "Okay," he said. "I trust you." He stepped into the airlock. Alara's hand hovered over the release button, her expression unreadable. Last chance to choose marriage instead. No test, no risk. Just say yes. No. I do this my way. I earn it. Jake smiled at her. Hit the button. She did. The void claimed him. Cold beyond imagination, pressure trying to tear him apart from inside. His lungs screamed. Blood vessels burst in his eyes. 30 seconds felt like eternity. Then warm arms pulled him back. Alara's hands glowed with silver light, healing his damaged body. He gasped air, convulsing as she held him. "You magnificent fool," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You actually did it." Test 3? Jake croaked. Already passed. Alara kissed him fiercely. "You don't understand, the third test was last night. Passion. The ability to truly connect, to give yourself completely to another. Most who reach test 3 fail because they hold back, afraid of vulnerability." She cupped his face. "You didn't. You gave me everything. I felt it when our minds touched." Jake's vision slowly cleared. "So I passed? All 3 tests. You've earned the right to join my people, to learn our secrets, to—" She stopped, her communicator chiming urgently. Her expression changed. "No. Not now." "What?" "A Luminary ship. They've finally come looking for me." Alara stood, conflict clear on her face. "Jake, I must tell them about you. About your success." "But—" She hesitated. "They'll want to evaluate you further. Take you to our homeworld. You'll be the first human to—" "Wait." Jake struggled to his feet. "You're saying if I go with you, I leave Earth behind? My crew? Everything?" "Yes. The Caranthes' reward is knowledge that can't be shared freely. You'd become Luminary property, an ambassador, yes, but also a ward. Protected, studied, valued, but not free to leave." Alara's voice broke. "I didn't realize they'd arrive so soon. You should have had time to decide." "I'm sorry." Alarms blared. Through the viewport, a magnificent ship approached, all flowing lines and pulsing light. "Choose now, Jake," Alara pleaded. "Come with me to the stars, or return to your old life. But choose." To be continued. Will Jake sacrifice everything for love and knowledge? What secrets do the Luminary truly hide? And what price comes with bridging 2 worlds?